Hi guys and girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. Thanks for tuning back in, thanks for coming back to see me. I'm really pleased you've done so, and I'm even more pleased about to bring you another Borealis. Borealis is a brand that I really do like. I'm still wearing it, which is always a good sign. They contacted me a little while ago because I saw on Instagram they were releasing a new watch, the Porto Covo, and they said, would you like to feature it? And I said, of course, I'm always up for featuring a Borealis on the channel. They got a lot of stick a while ago because of trying to control the rhetoric on their reviews. I've never had that experience. This is my third Borealis, I believe, and I've loved all of them. I think they're a fantastic Portuguese microbrand. I'm hoping as time goes on, I class them just not as much as a microbrand. I think they're still in that space. With this piece, you get a bead blast finish, sapphire, crystal, Highbeat, Miyota movement. They got the 9015 for the date, 9039 for the non-date. You got the floating indices, because you'll see how that's done. On the fly, just clasp. Really nice bracelet. And not for an awful lot of money when you consider everything's going up in price. I'll even bring the price up in front of me. This is the price at the time of recording. But yeah, I'm really pleased to get another one of these in. I've had a bit of time with it now, so I think I'm quite well placed to give you my thoughts. I'll leave a link in the description. It's not an affiliate link, just makes your life a bit easier. But is all that in a bag of chips? Let's find out together. So get yourself a nice beverage, a nice brew, because it's about that time to get the camera turned around and get on with it. Alright guys, so this is the watch. Another Borealis. I really do like Borealis. As I said in the intro, I think they've had some unfair stick. At least from my own perspective, they've been nothing but good to me. They've been very, very easy to work with. Unfortunately, I've got another one to bring you. So I've taken off 2 links for it to fit my wrist. Got a warranty card in there, all signed, which is no surprise. Class stuff over at Borealis. And this is the watch. So this is the watch, guys. This is the Borealis Porto Covo. A few different colours to choose from, so I'll bring them up now just so you can have a gandies at what maybe is more in keeping with your taste. Floating indices, unusual, looks pretty cool. Unusual for the hands to go behind the indices, as you'll see. But yeah, this is the Borealis Porto Covo. A few colours to choose from, and all that jazz. Inside the watch, it's running the Miyota 9039 movement. What can I say about this movement, guys, that I've not said already? Miyota 9000 series movements are amongst my favourite. Really nice sweep, good reliability. You have got a bit of a trade-off because the rotor goes a bit nuts whenever you move around, and you'll probably feel it and hear it. But yeah, 24 joules, 28,800 beats per hour, 40-hour power reserve. And you'll get like a much nicer sweep than you'll get normally on a sort of 3 hertz and stuff. But yeah, very seldom do you ever get a bad 9000 movement. And this one's running, I want to say, about 3 seconds slower. I prefer it to run faster, but yeah, this one's running a bit slower. But then the brakes. The construction of the watch, aside from the crystal and the bezel insert, is 316L stainless steel, but it's got a bead blast finish. So that's the bezel aside from the insert. The case, crown, case back, which I really do like with that mermaid on there. You got the bracelet, you got the solid end links and the clasp, all 316L stainless steel, and all of that bead blast finish. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to wear up over time though, but that's how they finished it. It's been done to a good standard. I like the H-link bracelet and stuff. Screw pins just to size it out, but yeah, we'll see how it wears up over time. The case thickness of the watch is 12 millimeters. The case diameter, and this one I measure from the 9 to the 3. It was a little bit easier. It was coming at 40.2 millimeters. When you go from the 10 to the 4-ish position, which is where the crown is, it was coming at 42.9 millimeters. The lug width on this is 20, a little bit wider there, but it is 20 mil in there. That does taper down to 18, back up to 20 millimeters at the clasp. And the lug to lug tip, the tip of the watch. So generally at the case is 42.6, but because of how it articulates, it does become 52.9 millimeters. Does turn a little bit, but that's a bit too much length for my liking, guys, I'll be honest. But they're the proportions anyway. Case back, I mentioned a moment ago, screwed down just with that mermaid. Not the first time I've seen that. I do like that. It looks very, very nice. You got the bezel, ceramic insert. It looks like a vinyl, doesn't it, in terms of how it's been done. Yeah, it looks cool. 120 click unidirectional bezel. Let's have a little listen. Yeah, feels really nice to grab hold of. And no bounce, no back play, lines up perfectly. Everything you want in a bezel, really, guys. Crown situated down at the 4 o'clock position. Screw down crown with B on there. No problem with the signage on this watch. Like I said, 2 mils of taper on the bracelet. Like I said, it's a bit wider at this point, but inside there it's 20 mil, so you can get different straps to fit. Nice H-link bracelet with screw pins. Fully milled clasp on the fly as well. Order of the day nowadays, guys, isn't it? So you pull this across and pull it to make it bigger, and then push it in. So yeah. But what I tend to do is I'll leave it like this for now, because when I put it on my wrist, I'll make it a bit tighter, which I'll show you in a few moments time. But yeah, on the fly adjustment there, which is good to see. The crystal covering the dial is a sapphire crystal. Pretty good legibility actually, guys. Really, really good to see. I'll bring the price up in front of me at this point so you can get an idea for the price. But yeah, sapphire crystal covering the dial. The water resistance, you'll make out down at the 6 is 300 meters. So that'll give you 30 atmospheres of water resistance. And the weight will appear in the top right. So with those 2 links removed, it was coming at 155.6. With those 2 links back in, you're probably about 170. So that's a bit hefty in this watch, guys, I'll be honest. It doesn't feel like it though. So it's distributed nicely throughout the watch. But yeah, not a light watch by any stretch. But let's have a look at the dial in a bit more detail. So what you'll notice is the rehaut chapter ring has done really well with the minute track, because it needs to be noticeable because you've got the floating indices, which could quite easily make it not be noticeable. But I think they've done that very, very well. So minute track going around the outer edge. You've got the floating indices where they're positioned upwards towards the crystal. I've never really seen this before, and it's unusual, but it works well. Something different. I'm here for sort of different stuff, and it certainly is different. You've got a grey dial, which has got a bit of sunburst going on. You've got the hands, which are high polished. The indices, which look like they've got a B-blast finish in keeping with the case, but the hands themselves are high polished. Good size. It's unusual when it disappears behind the indices. It took me a little while to adjust to that, especially when I was setting the time and stuff. It was a bit strange. But yeah, you got Borealis printed onto the dial just in black script writing. You got 30 atmospheres automatic printed on just above the indices at the 6. And I think generally it's unusual because of the indices, but I do think it looks very, very clean in design. Aside from how they've done the indices and stuff, I think it looks very clean, a nice dive style watch. But I'm not saying the indices are going to be for everyone, because it is unusual when you see it pass behind the indices. But yeah, looks cool to me. But now you're thinking, so what's the loom saying? So I'll bring the loom up now. The loom is very, very good in my opinion. It goes and goes, and where it's standing closer, where it's sitting closer to the crystal, it does allow it to be more clear in my opinion. It's not so far down on the dial, it's a bit higher up, so you'll see it just, yeah. I think the loom on the bezel isn't as good as that what's on the hands and indices, but the loom generally is good. It was a really nice surprise. It's a dive style watch, so you do kind of want it to have decent loom. Doesn't always marry up that way, but yeah, the loom on this is good. Goes and goes and goes and goes, which is always a good thing. In terms of the movement, given it's a no date movement, you take the crown out. There's only one position once it's unscrewed from the case, so it will hack. You put it back in, it will start back up again. Ordinarily, I would go through the date and stuff, but that's not an option here. In terms of the crown, if you turn it away from you, you can add some juice into it, but otherwise, it's just a case of screwing it back up, and you'll see how easy that was. And it is sort of recessed a little bit into the bottom corner, but that's everything going on there, guys. That's the dial, hands and indices, loom movement. Let me just pop it on the wrist quickly, give you an idea of what it looks like on my wrist. One moment, guys. So my wrist is a 7¼ inch wrist for your reference. And as I was mentioning a moment ago, so what I ordinarily do is I push it from the other side, and you'll hear the clicks. Just makes it a bit tighter when I'm wearing it, and then I know where it fits and how it fits. So yeah, a couple of bits on the fly I've used now just while I'm wearing it. And I think it's a pretty thing. I'm not sure how the sort of finishing is going to wear up over time, but it's been done well. Nice dial, a few different colours to choose from. But as ever, what do you all make of it, guys? Okay, so guys and girls, that would now take me swiftly on to what I think is pants and Pukka about the watch. If you've ever watched before, you don't always start with pants. I like to go on higher with Pukka. So what I think is pants about the watch is there's not a lot, guys. I really do like this watch, something different. I do like the finishing. I'm just not entirely sure how it's going to wear up, but there's two things I'm going to mention. First being the finishing. So if you do own a B-blasted watch, especially if it's a diver, please let me know how you found it to wear up over time. Because I have noticed when watches I've had that have got this finish, when you get a scratch, it shows a little bit more. So that's could be a bit of a problem. And the length, you'll see, although the case is okay, the length that is added, although it downturns, is a bit unnecessary, to be honest. I don't know why it needed to be like that, but I do because of how it's how they've done the ends. But a bit too much length for my liking. So there are two things I'm going to say: is the finishing and the length. What I think is Pukka. Quite a few more things because I really do like this watch. So first I'm going to say the crystal clarity. It's been actually really nice to film this, guys. It's not always the case with the crystal. So you probably would expect sapphire crystal. So I'm only going to go with the crystal clarity. The indices being floating, the way they've sort of protruded it up towards the crystal, I quite like it. It's something different, and I'm always here for different. The loom is really good. Really nice touch to see them not sort of cut corners on the loom, because that seems to be the main area brands do it. So yeah, not done here. The bezel, 120 click, unidirectional bezel, no bounce, no backplay, no problem. Always good to see. It's a bezel. You got the movement. 9000 series always going to be up there. 9039, no date movement. I'm here for it. The case back, really cool. Yeah, I do like the way they've done that mermaid. Deep etched. I'm here for deep etched. The bracelet, a H-link bracelet, I do. My preferred bracelet. They just feel so comfortable on the wrist, and the way it sort of sits on you, yeah, really nice. The clasp, fully milled on the fly. It's become the order of the day nowadays, isn't it, guys? We get a bit spoiled now with on the fly. And the general look of the watch, I think it's a really cool looking piece. It's a dive style watch, but I do think because the way it looks, you probably could wear it in different occasions. So yeah, nice to see. So the other things I'm going to say is I'm going to go with the crystal clarity, indices, loom, bezel, movement, case back, bracelet, clasp, and the general look of the watch. And that'll take me on to, would I recommend this watch? And I'm not saying this is going to be for everyone. Some people won't want their dive watches with this finishing. I know that. And some might not like the floating indices. But I think generally, in terms of what Borealis tried to do, because they did do some stuff before in terms of more homage stuff, but I do think they're trying more and more to make things a little bit more original. Very difficult, given most things have been done. But I think it's a really cool looking piece, and I definitely would say pick one up. Please use the link in the description, not an affiliate link, but just makes your life a bit easier. But guys and girls, as ever, please let me know what you think about this watch, and maybe any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as I always say, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and always watch the time. Take care, guys. All the very best.